Hi, I'm Shaka Hislop, and you're here at Extra Time TV.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Extra Time TV. This is Andre Suklal, and earlier, I tried to do this earlier live, but I did have some technical issues with the internet, but now I'm back. I'm not sure what's happening, but I'm at the mercy of the internet connection. But of course, today we're going to talk about the massive matchup. Trinidad and Tobago take on Jamaica in a crucial World Cup qualifier at the Hazy Crawford Stadium on Thursday. I may be there physically because I'll be doing the watch along with everybody else. So first of all, I'd like to say a special thank you to everyone who has been supporting this channel. I could have done this pre-recorded, but I chose not to. I just came from one of the press windows at the Hazy Crawford Stadium. I tried to do this a little bit earlier, but there were some tech issues. I'm going to do it now. So those of you who are not seeing this live, you could drop your comments in the comment section below and continue to support us. I'd like to say you all be ready when we do have our watch along. We may have it here. We may also have it at the Hazy Crawford, near to the Hazy Crawford Stadium. I'm trying to figure that out as well. But we'll see whether or not I'm going to be there and we're going to do this. And, before we continue, I'd like to say we're going to be announcing our winner of this jersey here that I've been talking about from the kind folks of Sportway in Trinidad and Tobago from Mitra and they. It's the home jersey. It's an XL, but I'm going to try to get some signatures for you all at the end of this. So you all could, that will be announced soon. I will be putting it on social media. So you'll be knowing this, the winner of this, before the next match day. And if the winner is from Trinidad and Tobago, I will be giving you the prize personally. And I will try to get some autographs for you on the jersey as well, just to sweeten the deal, folks. So like I said, be sure to like and subscribe. Follow the socials you're seeing below here. And let's get down to business. Let's talk about Trinidad and Tobago playing Jamaica in the crucial matchup. So the first thing we're going to talk about really quickly, and I'm going to pull this up really, is that, this is the squad list. So here we go. So the goalkeepers are Jabari Bryce, Denzel Smith, defenders Isaiah Garcia, Justin Garcia, Kobe Henry, Jaren Jackie, Darren Payne, Andre Raymond, Josiah Trimmingham, midfielders Daniel David, Wayne Frederick, Kevin Molino, Daniel Phillips, Noah Powder, Andre Rampersad, Stephen Yates, Kylie Overy, one of my favorites, Levi as well, Real Gill, Nathaniel James, Roald Mitchell, who we'll talk about in a little while, Dante Silly, Tyree Spicer, Lyndall Sween, and Ryan Telfer. So, folks, you may have noticed immediately two new names in there, Roald Mitchell and Lyndall Sween, and also, the absence of Malik Khan and Rio Cardines of Crystal Palace. Folks, those are massive losses for Trinidad and Tobago for that upcoming World Cup qualifier. Unfortunately, they're both injured. So we'll see how Dwight Yorke sets up the team, and we'll talk about that. And we're not going to have this very long, folks. Like I said, I could have done this pre-recorded and rehearsed everything, but I wanted to get this out of the way because, the timeline is very short. So the first thing I want to get out of the way, folks, is that we are in a situation of our own making. So I'm going to pull up the table before we continue. Let's see if I can get this really quickly. As you can see here, Jamaica, courtesy the kind folks of SofaScore, they are on top of the table with 9 points, Curacao with 8 points, Trinidad and Tobago 5, Bermuda 0. Of course, we had a very lengthy video explaining why and the different scenarios for us to make it. Of course, this is a situation of our own making. Those two draws against Curacao have proven to be very costly. If we got wins in those games, we'd have been on 9 points right now, and how different the table would have looked. Definitely, the discussion would have been very different. However, as it stands, we have to play Jamaica and Bermuda on our last two games at home, which is 1 pro for us. And, we have to hope Bermuda and the other teams kind of take some points off each other. I mean, it's just that simple. We could sit down, we could slice and dice. And I did explain in my last video on the EXTV Live. You could check that out when you're done. And all the other cool content on EXTV Media of the different scenarios. But we could sit down and discuss permutations and calculations and all that stuff. But the reality is, if we don't get anything other than a win in the next game, none of that matters. It's completely out of the question. We could sit and talk about it for hours, and we'll be having a different discussion. I'm sure Dwight Yorke and they know this. I'm sure they've been talking to the players about this. The inclusion of two new attacking players, says that possibly he has identified, that Obeku and those guys. We clearly an area up front because we use Levi Garcia as the number 9, and we'll talk about the tactics and so on. For Trinidad and Tobago in a little while where we could guess. It's not going to be very tactical. We're just going to refer to the last couple of games. And we have this wonderful data from SofaScore as well to talk about. So it is what it is, folks. The real question we have to ask is, how is Dwight Yorke going to lay out his team? And, I do have some of the formations here from SofaScore. So the last time, we played Jamaica, I'm going to go in that reverse order since it's about Jamaica. SofaScore has, in terms of the momentum maps, it was pretty even. I mean, Jamaica scored their 2 goals, but, in terms of attacking momentum, we did create chances. We did get the ball in the back of the net 3 times, but unfortunately, it was rightfully offside. And, it is what it is. We played a 4-2-3-1. At the time, Cardines was at right back, Trimmingham, Kobe Henry, Powder, Rampasad, Frederick, Sealy, Yates, Spicer, Garcia as in number 9. So I know a lot of people have not been very happy with Yates in that position. A lot of people were excited to see Malik Khan in that position. And then in the last game when we played against Curacao, Molino came on. And of course, he's older. He has a lot more injuries now, but he has that experience. And he did come on and change the game. So I don't know the injury status. I mean, today I in the press window, I saw them training, and it seems like everybody looks fine. Of course, we couldn't stay for the entire training session. But we don't know if he's going to go with that same formation. In the other games, he played 3 at the back, where he had Cardines. And I'm going to pull that up very quickly. In fact, let me pull that up very quickly while we're talking. But, he has tried different formations in the back, against Curacao. Let me pull that up, which is the last game we played. He played 5-4-1, where he had Cardines, which we'll see who will replace Cardines. We had Trimmingham, Jaren Jackie, Kobe Henry, and Raymond, I think they all did a great job. I think Jaren Jackie is using what I call a Simone Inzaghi, where you have that one of the centre-back trio being able to have that license to run into midfield and create that imbalance in midfield, which is a tactic I really like. I think it's very proactive and, it's exciting. It may appear very defensive, and it can be, but it's a very flexible formation, and once players get accustomed to it, on the attack with PC players like what we have, it can be very dangerous. And I can see, Dwight Yorke has been tinkering. I know a lot of people have been saying Levi Garcia should play on his natural wide position, but clearly that number 9 position has been a bit of a problem. And, he has tried Obiku. Obiku has not been called up to the squad, so he brought up the 2 new guys, which I'll break down in a little while, my thoughts, because I don't know much about them. I saw the list as quickly as you all, and I know everybody was waiting to see who the players he would call up with the grandparent rule and so on. There's a couple other players that didn't make the final cut as well. But, Trinidad Tobago obviously has played the 4-2-3-1. In this case, the 5-4-1 against Curacao, and then against Bermuda, I think it was a 4-2-3-1 as well. Let me check really quickly to verify that. Yes, so it's 4-2-3-1. So that's the formation they played. And it's pretty much, we're seeing Dwight Yorke's identity and the kind of football he wants to play. And, he's not afraid. I think he kind of knows the squad now. And he identified that we needed a striker. And like I said, I'll get into that. So what we'll see is who is going to play in that cam position. Who's going to play in that number 9 position. Is he going to bring in one of the new guys? We don't know what's happening in training. Is Levi Garcia going to go back out to the attacking position? Who's going to play in the right back position? I'm thinking because Cardines is not there, based on what we saw in the last game, we may play 4 at the back, but I don't know. I'm just making an educated guess. And, you all could let me know who you all think is going to play in the right back position to replace Cardines. What do you think about the squad? I'm just going to pull it up really quickly again for you all to see. This is the squad right here. And, of course, Roald Mitchell and Lindell Sween are the 2 new guys that are really, eye-catching. Of course, Malik Khan and Cardines is not there. So like I said, folks, I'd like to say, before I continue, a special thank you to everybody who has been supporting Extra Time TV over the last couple of months. It's very difficult to do these streams. I was just there at the training session earlier today. And, continue to support us, continue to like, subscribe, follow us on these socials, interact with us. Also, we have membership now where you can join in and support us. We have merch, all these things. We have an EXTV store. All these things contribute to helping the channel and enabling us to do what we do. And in addition to that, I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream, folks, and I see there's a couple viewers in here. And for those of you who join in afterwards, I will be announcing the winner of this before the Thursday game on social media. 100%. This is going to be up. So we're going to see who the winner is. I will announce it on social media. I was going to announce it today, but I was told, give it another day. We could see who's subscribing and who's commenting and so on, and all these things do it. It really helps the channel, the engagement and so on. So support me on all the platforms, folks. And also you can head over to extvmedia.com where I'll do a quick preview as well, more written up, more detailed than the numbers if you're into that stuff. So with that being said, folks, continue to support us. We'll be having our watch along. I may be physically near the game. I'm not sure yet. I have to work out the technical issues with that. If the internet connection is good, I could do the watch along near to the stadium, because I do post-match interviews with the players, which I'm sure you all would like to see, and hopefully we win. Or I may just do it here and have my team cover it. And I may probably bring in a special guest for one more live episode before we do it. And of course, we'll be doing our reactions. So lots of content to look out for. So just to continue, folks, we were talking about the possible tactics. Who's going to play in that right back position? Are we going to play 4 at the back or 5 at the back with 3 centre backs? We'll see who plays that position. And of course, will the new guys get a start? And will Levi Garcia get pushed out wide? We don't know. Maybe he will. Clearly, he is identifying that goal scoring is a problem. We are starting to see, as I mentioned before, a clear identity. I'm seeing it, how Dwight Yorke wants to play. And, we need to win. Jamaica needs to win as well, as it's being mentioned in the chat right now. Elite Sports, welcome. So they are coming here to win. So it's, in a lot of ways, if they were already qualified, maybe, they would probably tried a different squad. And this is not even Jamaica's strongest team. And it just shows you how they're doing well. Steve McLaren and his men. I will be trying to do some little interviews, so you can look out for that as well. I'll be visiting, trying to meet the players and so on, and just give it from a Trinidadian and Jamaican perspective as well, folks, because we have a lot of people in Jamaica, and I hope you guys are okay after the hurricane. I know it's been rough. We have a lot of supporters of from Jamaica on EXTV and throughout the Caribbean and so on. So, our thoughts go with you and everybody from Trinidad and Tobago. We hope you're well. The Caribbean, with the situations that is going on, we all have to watch out. And I know this is a football show. So, getting back to the game here. It is a must-win for Trinidad and Tobago. I went into great detail of all the possible scenarios for us to win in the last video. You can head over to the YouTube channel right now if you're there. For the viewers that are on, make sure to like and subscribe. And, let me know your thoughts. But I'm going to get straight to the point, like I said at the beginning of this video, folks. We could sit down and discuss all the scenarios. We have to win. There is no what-ifs and what-ifs anymore. We have to win. We can't control what goes on in the other games. We have to hope that the other teams take points off each other, and that way it could give us a pathway into the second, the qualifying position, which that's a whole other scenario. But we'll not talk about that until we get there, because it's not Bahrain, folks. We're not playing Bahrain like back in 2006. It's going to be tough, and there's some tough teams. So this is a situation of our making. I'm sure Dwight Yorke and his team know this. Today they were all business. I was at a training session. You can see the guys prepared, Dante Celia and so on. We did get some interviews, which I will probably post up in a little while on social media. I'll probably do it on the YouTube Shorts. You could check that out as well. Like I said, follow us on our socials. We have some cool content. And, we'll see how it goes, because, folks, it is what it is. We have to hope that Bermuda take points off the other teams and, they cancel each other off, because anything other than a win, it's done. It's done. It's just that simple. I mean, like I said, there's the analyst in me. I speak logically. This is not negatively. Realistically, it's a very tough ask. Like I said, it's a scenario of our own making. Those points we dropped against Curacao definitely hurt us. But of course, winning is not impossible. I would not be doing this if I didn't think so. I think we do have a chance. We have a good record at home, as Andre Samuel pointed out. When was the last time we lost at home? And, just the form guides of both teams in the World Cup qualifiers. It's, win, loss, win for Jamaica. And Trinidad and Tobago, draw, loss, win, draw. So, obviously, the 2 draws were against Curacao. So, of course, Curacao is going to try to, get in there. They have a great coach, Dick Advocat. I've been admiring him for years. Steve McLaren is an experienced coach, worked in the Prem and so on. So there's familiarity there. We do have a young, inexperienced coaching staff. But I think with all things considered, if this was outside World Cup qualifying, getting draws away from home against those teams is not bad. It's not bad. It's not perfect. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say everything is perfect. But, things are, it's going to be tough. So, for all those viewers that are joining in, like I said, it's not going to be a very lengthy video. I'm doing these live for authenticity, folks. I could have done these pre-recorded. And I will, because not all the time I could do this. But it's very engaging to see the fans out there supporting and, getting your friends and family and everybody to watch. It really helps the channel. And the engagement with the channel and the YouTube community posts and so on. So as you can see in the categories here on this, well, actually on the other side, we spoke about the possible formations. So, will Dwight Yorke go with the 4-4-2? I mean the 4-2-3-1, or maybe 5 at the back, or maybe spring something different on us. And we're talking about Trinidad and Tobago. Let's take a look at Jamaica. So Jamaica, let's take a look at the last time they played us. So when they played us and we lost, Jamaica versus Trinidad Tobago 2-0. I think if I remember correctly, they also played 4-2-3-1. 4-2-3-1 formation. And of course, you know, Jamaica, when they played Bermuda, which they won 4-0, they played the 4-1-4-1. So what I'm gathering here, the pattern is that they do play. The thing about these formations is that they are guidelines, because when you are in possession, players move, and you know these 4-2-3-1s go into straight 4-3-3s, and you know it's very interesting. And you know, folks, I like to not just have old banter, and as we call in Trinidad and Tobago, rum shop talk football. You know, I try to all of us learn from each other and talk about tactics. We have the wonderful folks of SofaScore that supply this wonderful information for us, and they continuously support this. They're a globally massively famous company, and I'm very privileged to have them working with us and giving this information, and you know all this helps with you all following. And you know, Jamaica, what formation is Team McLaren going to come with? And you know, this team that they have is not even their strongest team, but they have a very strong squad, and they are coming here to win, folks. So we have to really establish, you know, the 12 man, the players, you know, the players have, you know, it's possible. I don't know, because I'm not in their heads. I can't speculate. You know, Dwight Yorke is probably coaching them mentally how to prepare themselves for this game and be okay. In terms of key players, I think for Trinidad and Tobago, you know, this may be a bit of a cop-out. But I think, obviously, goal scoring. We have to score some goals now and try not to concede. Like I said, that's what we have in our control. We have to win this game. We do create a lot of chances. We don't finish as much. We are starting to score a little bit of goals. Of course, Bermuda, with no disrespect to Bermuda, you know, the opposition is not as strong as the others. But it was good for us to get those goals. And I think Dwight Yorke, by bringing in these guys, has really, the new guys, which we'll talk about shortly, has, I think, highlighted what we identified in our previous videos, that we need strikers. So I'm just going to pull up something really quickly here in my notes. I did some notes because there's a lot to talk about. Some key points. So, you know, of course, with the selection, it includes a 22-year-old US-born forward, Roald Mitchell. I don't know much about him. He's making his first inclusion for Trinidad and Tobago. I know a lot of people are excited about the new players. There was a couple other players that didn't make it. Of course, he replaces Justin Obiku. To be fair, I don't think we saw much of Obiku to say if he's good or bad. You know, Dwight Yorke clearly has made a decision. Then, of course, there's Lindell Sween. He comes in for Isaiah Lee from Central FC. You know, Isaiah Garcia, Daniel Fingers, David from Central FC, which is a team I used to work for. I had a nice history with them, folks. I did work in football. I worked in the women's team, so I'm not just some YouTube guy. You know, and of course, I have read somewhere that, you know, Marvin Phillip is in there with the possibility of if there's any injuries and so on. So, you know, we saw the squad. Of course, I don't know much about Roald Mitchell. I'm being very honest. I'm just like you guys, so I'm going to do my research when I'm done and maybe do another discussion about him. You know, anybody, if you all know more about him in the chat right now, and drop comments in the comment section, let me know what you think. And it's a must-win scenario. It is what it is. You know, the squad is pretty much, it picked itself with the exception of those guys. And what I'm seeing here leaves me with two key questions, maybe three. The first one is, who's going to play right back if we're playing the back four? You all can let me know what you think in the comment section as well. You know, Alvin Jones has not been called up for the last couple squads for whatever reason. Possibly injured. I think it's an injury thing. I don't know for sure. Who's going to play in the striking position? Is he going to start with Levi again in the false nine position? And if not, if one of the new guys, who's going to go in that number 9 position? If and I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. If Mitchell is going to play there, or if he's going to come on. And if that is the case, will Levi go to his natural wide position? And then who is going to play in the calm position? Well, obviously with Malik Khan not there, if Kevin Molino is going to start. From what I saw today, they all look pretty fit to me. And sprightly in the training sessions, you know. And then you have the young guys like Kylie Overy and so on. We have Dante Seeley and these guys. You know, we'll see. You know, is he going to play that formation? Is he going to play something else? Folks, you know, let me know what you think as well. And as well, we'll be having the watch along. You know, like the last watch along was highly successful. It's 17,000 views. And I would like you all to continue to support me. I've been doing the weekly shows as requested by you all. Every week, we do it on Wednesdays. This week is the only exception because of the World Cup qualifier. I may do another one where we do weekly shows with content chosen by you all. And it's live, folks. You all could sit down. And sometimes we're going to have guests. We had Kenwin Jones last time. I may bring somebody else. Shaka hits up people and you could have questions. Nobody does that. You could come in and we could have real football discussions. And you all have impressed me with some of your intelligent responses. I won't lie. And throughout the Caribbean, and we have teams from rival. My screen just came on behind. I'll just turn it off. But we had, teams, opposition teams, and I love the respectful nature we had. And if there was banter, it was fun, and we have to maintain that, And, of course, like I said, my heart goes out to Jamaica and, the situation right now. And, we hope everything is okay. So continue with the discussions. That's one of the things we'll have to figure out. So I'm going to bring up the table once more for everybody here. So let's see. So it's brought to you by SofaScore. So as you can see here, Jamaica has 9 points. Curacao, 8 points. Trinidad Tobago, 5. Bermuda, 0. So like I said I wasn't going to go through all the details of breaking down everything like before. But it's a must win. When we win, we go on 8 points. And, Jamaica have to win because, if things go wrong, mathematically, they could slip out. So it's not sealed. So they have to win. This would make things easy for them heading into the last game. I can't see them, losing to Bermuda. But, it is what it is. And, the only thing we have in our control is winning our game. It's just that simple, folks. It's that simple. So like I said, I'm not going to keep this too long, folks. For all the viewers that are in here right now, let me know if you're going to be at the game. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment in the comment section. If you're not with us live right now, be sure to check out our weekly episodes of EXTV, which was inspired by the massive amount of viewership I got in the last watch along, which was close to 17,000 views. And the channel, you all have really helped the channel. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. And each week we're going to do live episodes, and it's live, folks. And when you do that, make sure to follow us on our socials here. Be sure to engage. Some people were telling me to try to make my own TikTok. I don't know if I'm going to try. I'll probably, in addition to the watch along, do a TikTok watch along and also on Instagram. All three. It's crazy, folks. It's crazy. I'm going to do it, go fully crazy. I may do it near to the stadium or I may do it in the studio. But like I said, when you do all those things, you automatically qualify for a chance for the draw, which is very soon, to win this jersey, courtesy the kind folks of Sportway and Mitra. It's the home Trinidad Tobago jersey. It's an extra large jersey, but that's the jersey we got. And I'm going to try really hard to get some autographs for you all when you get this. And we'll be continuously doing giveaways, folks. That's what we'll be doing. And of course, if you want to support the channel, we have membership options now. We have a merch store. All these things that can help us continue to do this wonderful job for you all. And of course, in addition to these watch-alongs, we have very cool interviews in football, cricket, SSFL, as much as we can. So, moving along, folks, we're going to wrap things up by predictions. I personally think there's two sides to this. There is the analytical side, which is what I do for a living. The analytical side and the Trinidad Tobago fan. Okay? So the analytical side, for me, based on our inability to really put away chances, says to me, we could probably come away with a draw. The analytical side. The Trinidad and Tobago fan in me says, hey, we are capable. And I wouldn't be having this discussion and being this enthusiastic and going through the trouble of making these videos if I thought that we were not going to win this game. We are capable of winning this game. It is mathematically possible for us to get to the next round. But we have to win. If we don't win, we are out. Just that simple. I mean, a lot of people said in the last game once we didn't win that game, but it's still mathematically possible. We have to win this game, and we have to ensure that the other teams knock points off each other. It's that simple. And it's good, for us to end the campaign on a high. People are already talking about if we don't qualify, if we should keep Dwight Yorke. We'll talk about that after the game. I think that was at the right time for the discussion. I personally would keep him around. I have my reasons for that, which I'll go into in this week's episode of EXTV Live, which is every week. Live, and you all could join in. Everybody who's in here, all the subscribers, tell your family, tell your friends, tell all your football friends. It's not limited to local football. But I'm going to wrap this up by saying I think it's very possible for us to win, but I think realistically the analyst in me says it's going to be a hard-fought draw because Jamaica is a tough team. It's going to be very difficult for us to really get a clean sheet, but we do have a good record at home. We do have the tendency to beat teams at home and get good results. So it's not impossible. So with that being said, folks, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know what you think in the live chat. Let me know what you think on Instagram. Follow us on all those socials. Send in those things because it not only helps the channel, but you could get the prize, folks. You can get the prize. So, like, with that being said, folks, like I said, as you can see here, we have the updated scores. We're always trying to update it. When we have our watch along, we'll be having the formations. We may have a guest. I may even invite one of you subscribers to come and do the live watch along with me as well. What do you think about that? I may have a crew with us. If I'm not here, I'll maybe be one at one of the hotels. I'm going to be doing some internet testing because I don't want to spend money to go in the hotel and then the internet is crap. And then while I'm talking to you, it freezes up like this. Like that. I don't want that, you know. So I want to say a special thank you. Very sincere. I'm very humbled by the support I've been getting. I'd like you to continue to support me in the live streams and the weekly episodes. We also have lots of different content, not just in football, but in cricket as well. Esports. I will be doing video game watch-alongs with FIFA. For those of you who are into, well, I'm sorry, EAFC. For those of you, I may do some challenges. There's an absolutely hilarious video of myself and Kevin Molino. You could check that out on the YouTube channel. So with that being said, folks, I'm going to wrap things up. Let me know your thoughts. Continue to support. Continue to like, subscribe. Check us out on the socials. I will be doing a quick match preview, which is a bit more detailed, on extvmedia.com, where it's not just news, but you know, some unique, opinionated pieces. And you all are welcome to submit your thoughts at EXTV, extratimetvtt@gmail.com. You can send in those questions and support the channel. We have that membership option now, and it will mean a lot. So, folks, let me know what you think about the game. Let me know what you think about the squad. Let me know what you think about how the result is going to be. Are you going to be there at the game? Let me know. And with that being said, folks, my name is Andrew Soklal. This is Extra Time TV, and I'll be seeing you after the game, folks. Take care.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching Extra Time TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe.